In this example, I'm a caregiver who has accepted a client-requested shift, and it's time for me to clock in for work. You go through the app, it's Ally MS, with the blue check mark in a circle. I'm already logged in, and I'm going to clock in to this shift right here, July 20th, 2 to 6 p.m. You can also, of course, clock in by clicking on the Clock In Now box at the top of the screen, and that's if you arrive a little bit early for a client, or if you and your client separately set a schedule that you need to clock in for that you may not see. We're going to go ahead and select this, and we're going to say that this is the correct shift. We're going to clock in now. This screen comes up to confirm your location. It's a way for a client to confirm the accuracy of what you are billing them for. So we're going to say yes, that is the correct location. It's important to note that even if you don't have cell signal or internet service, you can still clock in and out of a client through the app. And then once you do have service, this information will be updated through the internet or through your phone service. So once you clock in, there's a meter at the top of the screen. It's actually a timer that will show you how long you are invoicing your client for. It's important to note that if you clocked in late, you can always have that corrected by contacting Ally. The 1-800 number is at the bottom of the screen, 1-800-930-0587. They're available during business hours to assist you. If you contact them and you're still having trouble, we can always help you. However, the first person that you should always call is Ally for those types of corrections. So, we're caring for our client. You can always review the activities that they need to see what they had requested, go over the client notes to see what it was that they needed. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to say that we cared for this client from 2 p.m. and it's now 6 p.m. When it's time to clock out, you can go ahead and select Continue to Clock Out. Again, it's going to ask you to confirm your location. This is done when you clock in and when you clock out. You're going to go ahead and document the activities performed. Now, each client requires at least 2 to 3 activities to be documented, even if it's safety supervision, watching your client to make sure that they're safe. Ambulation, that could include watching your client to make sure they get from point A to point B safely. Respite care is just general support. We'll say that for this individual, we assisted them with bathing, with dressing, and with oral care. Once you've documented those things, you can document your mileage. Mileage is not to be documented for your getting to and from work. However, mileage is documented if your client requested you to utilize your vehicle to go to Publix. This is paying you by the client for the use of your vehicle. It's reimbursed to you by the client at $1 per mile. So say, for example, your client asked you to go to Publix. Keep track of that mileage. Let's say it was close and it was a total of 5 miles. Other expenses, this line is used for largely bridge tolls. Only bridge tolls to Sanibel are covered by clients. You can go ahead and document that here. We'll say that it's $6. Other expenses, so that you can correctly invoice your client and they know what they're paying for, you can put bridge toll so that they know that that's what it is that you were getting paid for. Add note to client narrative. Let's say, for example, you clocked in late. You can make note of that here, and that helps make sure that you are so that your client is billed correctly and that you're paid correctly. So we'll say clocked in at 2:15, but arrived at 2 p.m. Again, it's still recommended that you contact Ally to make sure that that's accurate, but this is a place that you can put information about it. Signatures, as you see, it's got a little red note that says it's required. Require a client signature authorizing you to have been there. If the client is unable to sign, again, I'm writing on the screen of my phone. You can put NA, you can draw a line through it, you can do whatever. You have to select to confirm, and then it asks for the caregiver signature. This is you signing that these services were provided and that the times are accurate, and you can go ahead and confirm that. And you can see who worked the previous shift, who's working the next shift, and then you can select Clock Out Now at the bottom of the screen. You're not officially clocked out until it says, "Congratulations, you've successfully clocked out of your shift." It will also show you that you've completed the shift, the number of activities you documented, the total time that you're invoicing your client for, and yeah. So I've gone back to my home page. Once you're done working a shift, you can view your completed shifts. So you can confirm what you're getting paid for, what you invoiced your client for. And if there are any discrepancies, this will help you to understand what it is and how to make those corrections so that you are paid correctly and so that you correctly invoice your client.